Israel wasn't enough.
I
Are
am
you on
about
mute?
to I want everybody to, again, I want y'all know me, man. I say, look at a map when we're talking about these things. Hey, BN, pull the screen up. I want y'all to understand what the hell that means. Guys, this is the Nile over here, right? We well into Egypt. Of course, they want the lush shit, the green stuff. Of course, they want the Nile. Come on. Too easy, right? But y'all see the moment we zoom out and now we're going east, how problematic that is? We got Egypt, obviously Israel, but they want to conquer Gaza. We got Lebanon up here. We got Syria. We got Jordan right smack in the middle of their ambitions, right? This obviously includes Saudi Arabia. And guys, here's the Euphrates if we're going to go parts of Iraq. This is where the Euphrates goes. But of course, I have to wonder, is that all that's included? Because we're bombing way over here in Iran, right? And so all of this, guys, is what they consider greater Israel. Okay. By the way, real quick, before I continue, I need everybody to sit through that Tucker Carlson and Mike Huckabee interview. Guys, it is eye-opening for all the wrong reasons. I really need you guys to mine through that. But greater Israel refers to the idealistic goal seeking to establish Israeli sovereignty over vast amounts of territory between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean Sea, with some extremists extending the borders from the Nile to the Euphrates. It is a vision supported by religious and right-wing nationalists aimed to include the West Bank, Gaza, and parts of the neighboring countries. And I'm going to bring up an article real quick from Al Jazeera. Let's see. Talking about greater Israel or defining greater Israel. The most expansionist claim for greater Israel is based on the biblical verse Genesis 15:18-21, which narrates God making a covenant with Abraham that promised his descendants the land between the Nile and the Euphrates. That would include Jewish people, with the tribes of Israel believed to be descendants through Abraham's son, Isaac. But it would also include the children of other Abraham's son, Ishmael, regarded as the forefather of the Arabs. Other definitions based on different biblical verses are narrower in their territorial scope and specified that the land of Israel would be promised to the tribes of Israel descendants from Isaac. So right now, guys, it is an undeniable fact. America is a secular government, and yet our U.S. officials in a Western country is using biblical texts to justify an unprovoked war in the Middle East.
Hey, bro, here's the thing that a lot of people have a hard time grasping, man. Like I'm not a Trump guy. I've never been a Trump guy. I'm very vocal about it. And it's not that my only problem with Trump is, I mean, he's Trump. I ain't got a problem with him. You know, game people game. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that Trump is an idiot and he's dumb and all this kind of stuff. No, what I'm gonna say is he doesn't care. Trump doesn't care. And the people around him are on what you talking about. They're in the scriptures and they're doing whatever. And BB over there understands, like, oh, we got the one dude in the White House with all his power that we can jet our mind trick into doing what we want done. And what they want done, they probably do want to go, like you said, to the Euphrates, right? Whatever. And, you know, Americans are sitting here because MAGA's in shambles. MAGA's mad. I mean, you know, it's not just Tucker. Right? You got Marjorie Taylor Greene out there. You got all of the hardcore, the normal cast of characters. They're questioning this. And then you have the others, the Republicans who've gotten in line because you got the old school hawks that just want to get back at Iran for something that happened back in 1978, 1979. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when I was in the Army, we was talking about going to Iran in basic training. This is before, like Desert Storm and all that kicked off. We were seeing cases about going to Iran. So they just haven't forgotten, just like Cuba, just like Venezuela. Right. So they got the right dude at the right time in the office who doesn't care. Trump doesn't care. And I think that they realize they only have a small window to make this happen because Trump is going to snap back. Trump don't look at, the approved, polls and stuff like that. He watches YouTube. He's probably watching us right now. People be tripping. I'm like, yo.
Remember, it don't matter. Well, it don't matter now, DL, because it ain't like he going up for re-election. So
Well, remember, he said he want a third term.
Yeah, but we know that ain't gonna happen. So I mean,
but hey, Brian,
not saying that he might not attempt it, but I'm just saying I think most people are going, because when you open that door, then you got to remember now you opening that door for the other side. And
I'm with you.
Listen,
I'm with you.
We got a guy that's about to run for president right now. I don't think nobody want no parts of that. Gavin Newsom, no parts.
Hey, Brian, how's it going?
Man, what's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
What's good,
What's up, Tommy? How y'all doing, man?
You crazy for that picture, yo, baby.
I love that picture, bro.
Oh, yeah. How y'all doing tonight?
What's that, City of God?
Yeah, City of God. Yeah, man. City of God.
What you got for us, Brian?
Man, I just came into the conversation, man. Black man, he messaged me to see if I wanted to come up, man. I wasn't doing nothing tonight, man. I'm just trying to catch on to the flow of y'all conversation right quick. But what are y'all talking about right now?
We're just talking about currently what's going on in Iran. We're getting into actual goals versus stated goals. Getting into right now what does the Nile versus Euphrates means, and getting in which involves overall what greater Israel is or isn't.
Right. I mean, the Israelis know they only have so much time before America decouples. I mean, that's it. This is it. Israel knows that this is it. After this, the American people are going to decouple from Israel and they're on their own.
And
I got a question. I want to add to that too. So I've been feeling this way too towards Israel for a minute. So do y'all think if Israel fall, do you think America will be okay?
Yes.
Good.
Well, if Israel falls, the last thing they'll do is glass the Middle East. They got nukes.
Because I think Israel run America. That's just me.
No, for sure.
United States of Israel.
Yeah, that's what I be thinking. I always felt like that.
So B, that's kind of what we started with.
Okay.
He Taru said the United States of Israel. I said we're Israel's bitch. And I mean,
facts.
I got a video, Netanyahu, literally since 1993, saying that Iran was weeks away from having a nuke. Since 1993, he's been saying this.
No.
How many weeks since 1993 can you be this close to getting it? Like
34 years, guys. All of y'all, we don't have to be nuclear scientists to know it don't take 34 years to get a nuke.
And listen, this is on video. Like I literally have it. Literally, and every time they literally clipped it. Every time he said this for 30 straight years. They're weeks away. They're months away. We got to do something. It's like, come on, dog.
And just to be clear, guys, I want y'all to make sure, however you guys might have voted, do not let the Warhawks define timelines when it comes to Iran, because they love pointing to the 1979 revolution, but none of them likes to start the timeline in 1953 when our country launched a coup in Iran. Their democratic elected leader. And I want y'all to understand 1953. We only had 48 stars on the flag. Hawaii and Alaska weren't even states yet. That's how long we've been meddling in Iran. Right? We've been meddling in Iran since as long as we've been engaged, been dealing with commies and the Red Scare and the Korean War and all that nonsense. That's how long we've been doing it, guys. And so, hey, Coach Ferg, how's it going, man? I want to keep this going before I bring you up and get your thoughts real quick. But I want you guys to understand, like, what it is we're actually dealing with. I'm going to bring this map up again, BM. Because greater Israel, guys, when you actually look at what's going on and you look at the territorial gains they actually need realistically to pull this off, it makes sense why they went and bombed Iran. Because obviously, let's be clear, guys, ain't nobody giving them real problems in Iraq. They gonna run through them. Let's be clear, they've been bombing Lebanon forever, right? Hezbollah and everything like that. But Iran, why Iran is strategic is because the mountain ranges up north that extend all the way southeast, the Iranian highlands, right? Guys, this right here serves as literally a natural border wall, right? And why is this so important? Because you get the altitude for your anti-air defense systems, because who's your next door neighbor? Afghanistan and Pakistan. Two enemies of Israel. But do y'all see the problem? The further Israel expands, the more enemies they seem to run into. But that makes sense, right? So we know territory-wise, this is exactly why they need Iran. Because Greater Israel, and I really don't want to touch into the ethnic homogeny going on, but Greater Israel land-wise requires them to control this. Also, they need to control aspects of the Mediterranean, and they need to control other areas like the Strait of Hormuz, which currently is severely restricted under blockade. The U.S. Navy is going to town on the Iranian naval fleet, right? They just bombed, or they just destroyed another ship. And right now, guys, we are so connected that the Strait of Hormuz, you guys, billions upon billions upon billions of dollars flows through this little gap. Right now, yeah, what's up, Brian?
Yeah, I'm not educated on this fully. So as of right now, who do you think, or who do y'all think that's I know war is never a winning game, but so
Yeah.
are you saying Iran has the kind of like the upper hand right now?
Iran in this situation would be the inferior opponent. What they have is the abilities to create choke points like this on strategic logistic lines.
Yep.
All right. So a lot of the times, right, because when we're talking about the Middle East, Brian, there's a lot of religious aspects into it, but remember, it's all oil and gas, right? And so some of the pipelines have already been shut down and restricted. Some of the oil pipelines, Brian, that run straight into Europe. And so just like we're having our gas prices starting to go up over here, they've already had their heating and gas bills go up, because obviously being actually connected to the landmass, it's way more, they're going to feel the effects far more earlier than we will.
Basically,
this has real world. I mean, this goes beyond the Middle East right now, because
it does.
Russia was up against the ropes in this Ukraine thing, running out of money. The sanctions were working, and now guess where Europe is going to be buying their oil from? They're going to be buying it from the Russians.
But guess
so
what?
they about to get all this money so they can keep the war going.
DL, you're absolutely correct, but worse than that. That means places like India and China are going to continue buying it from the Russians because they ain't got no choice. And because the oil prices are going up, that just funds their war in Ukraine that much longer.
Also, you look at it, I mean, I think what it is also, it's about also control of the Suez Canal and the Straits of Hormuz. I think it's basically also controlling those waterways to make it easier to get in and out when they need to.
Yep. That you guys got to remember. So we got the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran has notoriously controlled forever. And then also down here, because obviously you're going to have more control of the Mediterranean if you get your idealistic Nile River. But you got to deal with the Houthis, who are always causing problems all up and down here. Right. And just to end this off with the map aspect, because that's a little, we're getting a little technical sometimes. Just real quick, guys, I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to look at Turkey.
Uh-huh.
Let's see, where are we at?
Right there, Turkey, right there. Further up.
Specifically, Samandag and Kali. And the reason why I'm going to highlight that is because I want y'all to see this video before I get y'all thoughts. BM, is he there? Oh, there it is. All right.
A new Turkish threat is emerging. I want to be very clear. Turkey and Qatar have gained influence in Syria, are seeking influence elsewhere and everywhere throughout the region. And from here, I warn, Turkey is the new Iran. Erdogan is sophisticated, dangerous, and he seeks to encircle Israel. And while some senior Israelis were on Qatar's payroll, Qatar and Turkey are nourishing the Islamic Brotherhood monster that is growing and eventually might become as dangerous as the one created by Iran. Turkey and Qatar are gaining influence not only in Syria, but also in Gaza, through the front door, and everywhere, and trying to create a new choke ring. Turkey is trying to flip Saudi Arabia against us and establish a hostile Sunni axis with nuclear Pakistan.
So the reason I bring that up, and Coach Ferg, I'm going to bring you in. The reason I bring that up is because, guys, Turkey is a NATO country. So if Israel and Turkey get into a conflict, Turkey can invoke Article 5 of the NATO Constitution, which requires its NATO allies to come to its defense. Guess who's the #1 country in NATO? The United States. Guess who's Israel's #1 ally? The United States. Quite the pickle. Boy, oh boy, how we gonna deal with that one? Coach Ferg,
well, you know how they're gonna deal with it. My bad, but real quick, they're gonna kick Turkey out of NATO. There's been movements in the past to get rid of Turkey. Turkey's never been playing by the rules that America wants to play by. Well, so the Turks are not going to let the Israelis. Yeah, the Turks aren't going to let the Israelis do what they're trying to do.
Well, the EU tolerate. The EU, with all their problems, been still trying to get friendly with Turkey, with all the problems they've had.
But think about Turkey is the only European country where the majority of the population practices Islam. And that's why a lot of people don't have issues with Turkey for that reason. So that's basically what it is. But you need more than I think they still need what? They need a majority or a unanimous vote in order to kick Turkey out of NATO. I'm trying to figure out how that works.
Yeah, you need everybody to sign off on kicking Turkey out of NATO.
And guess what?
And that's
that's what I said.
Yeah.
You're gonna have, of course, you're probably gonna have the United States say, yeah, they gotta go. But Canada may say, nah, they stay. Then what?
Coach Ferg, how you doing, man?
How y'all doing, man? Can y'all hear me pretty good?
Yes, sir.
Turn my mic up, man. Listen, man, I don't know when y'all joined the military, right? But a lot of things have changed. You know, have y'all heard of, y'all remember, I know JD does, my brother, remember when they had the contraband selling the arms to Iran, when we were actually selling Iran our arms, right? Y'all was probably kids and stuff, right? But again, this is the play, man. This is what they do. We take our technology after we shoot all these little missiles and build it back up. And those people who are displaced, they come into those new apartments where y'all live at. Them new fancy apartments they rebuild. They ain't for what they always do. And America's done this for years. This is nothing new. Now, I would think, you know, since y'all former military, some of y'all could probably go back and fight these, you know, get in, y'all put your boots on, you know, but again, this is nothing new. We haven't declared war since the 1940s, since World War II, I believe it is. It's interesting to see what would happen over the next 3 to 5 years. We have our Olympics coming here in 28, so it's going to be interesting to see how we continue to move. We've met our military numbers across all forces over the past year. So somebody's joining these forces, right? I don't know how many black kids are joining, but somebody's joining. And we know how veterans of the modern era are treated once served. You're going to get what you need. But just to the region, this is the play of America. There's minerals in those mountains that we need. There's things in those places that we need. America can't go from the east because you have people that are aligned with those countries. And now that Israel's sort of the centerpiece that going in the middle of all this, there was a time where Israel couldn't get into a war because Iran and Iraq would become allies, and a lot of countries who were allies under the Geneva Convention would have to sort of choose a side. And this is where we are. This is where we are. I'm not surprised by it. But again, this is something that I saw when I went to the Gulf War. They were talking about these things then in 1990. And here we are. You know, America has nothing else to offer, and we need resources because we like to be lazy in America. Let's be honest.
Well, here's the thing, Coach. Like honestly, I wish that was true, because then that means our U.S. officials actually has some sort of reason to go to war. Coach, they not going to war for minerals in the Eastern Mountains in Iran, right? Well, we're going to war because Israel made us go into war. Coach,
well,
we can't Coach, respectfully, we can't even get people to buy the Venezuela oil we just stole. We can't even get to buy that from us. So what are we going to do? What is Trump going to do with a bunch of minerals he don't know nothing about? He don't even know where that crap's located.
But y'all said it before. It's about the oil. It's always been about the oil. The oil in those regions, I remember, and this is, I'll say this and I'll shut up. When I went to the Gulf War, oil was 40 something. It was 13 cents a gallon in those areas, right? Today it's like $1.57 today, and they oil just went up to. I mean, the gas price of gas. Well, it's $1.40 something cent per gallon in those countries, right? So inflation over the last 40 years has changed the price, but again, as long as they have oil, it ain't gonna be what y'all think.
Coach Ferg, I wish you were right. I really do wish he was right. But the reason America has always kept Israel out of the fight when we had a fight with someone in the Middle East, right? The reason is what's going on now. Like the war we fought, the coalition. Remember, we had to protect Israel. Like who was the first people that Saddam bombed? Where did the Scuds go? Straight to Israel. And we had to keep Israel out of the fight because we'd have lost our coalition. This time, like Trump, again, I'm not saying the man is stupid or anything like that. He just doesn't care. To him, it's all about his money. How much money has his family made, right? The deals that were made before this happened. Like, think about that. His sons were over there and his son-in-law over there killing it right now, right? So that's all Trump cares about. The Israelis know this. Bibi knows this. And he's using this Jedi mind trick thing to get America committed to a war. Trump thought that MAGA would back him, and now, Trump's about to do his taco thing. He's trying to figure out a way to get out, I believe, but there's no off-ramp.
Yeah, guys, we got to remember, there are way easier places to go get oil right now. There is way easier places. On top of, our country is producing a record amount of oil.
I believe Uganda's one of them.
We got oil right there in Venezuela, guys.
It ain't that good oil. It ain't that good oil. We want the good oil.
Can y'all hear me?
But hey,
let me try on that, bro.
Yeah, can you hear me?
We got you, man.
Just to add to what Terry said, let's not forget that America has been a net exporter of oil since about 97.
Yes.
We sell oil.
Check your DMs, Tyrus.
You know what I'm saying? So we sell oil. So it's not a short of oil on our part. You got to remember all of GWAT. All of GY. What oil did we get?
Great, right there.
None. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get anything out of that. Not really. You know, we occupy some land now, but that's about it.
Yep.
We expanded the empire. That's all we did. We didn't get anything out of it.
We ain't getting nothing out of it.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, my thing is, we're stop putting fuel to the fire of this narrative that we are allies with Israel. We are not allies with Israel. There's never in the history of anything where there's been a formal alliance signed between the United States and Israel. Not once ever, still to this day. We got
Mandrell,
one.
you mean when they attacked the Liberty, Mandrell? That was just an accident, Mandrell. When they attacked the Liberty,
they didn't mean it. They really didn't. Somebody slipped. Somebody was asleep at the wheel, man. But we took care of him. He's fired. It's all right. It's all right. I mean, you know, it's amazing, this whole thing. But not really amazing. It's par for the course, really. I mean, you know, he's not like the current administration. Look at how hard they're trying to cover up pedophiles. How the amount of effort they use. It was what time have you went? All right, there he is. Okay,
he there. He listening. All
right, cool. Yeah, I'm about to say. Yes, look at how hard they're trying to fight to protect pedophiles. And that whole that fiasco that Pam Bondi did in that Senate hearing. Stop the madness. It was dead. If it wasn't dead before that, it's dead now. After that. Okay. So this whole thing with Israel happening. Who's surprised, really? I think people are more frustrated than anything else because this is something we didn't want. And when Trump ran, he said that this is not what he was going to do. Now he's pissed off that he didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. And you wonder why.
She gave it to him, though. She gave it to him.
That don't count.
That don't count.
It don't count because they don't have his name on it. That's why.
The thing is, you got to remember
that FIFA Peace Prize he got.
I think part of his frustration with the Peace Prize is that Obama got one. And he's not going to get one.
Exactly.
Because Obama got one in his first term. You know what I'm saying? And so he wants to beat Obama. That's what he wants to do because Obama roasted him. You remember that time?
Yes.
He remembers. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Obama roasted
him.
Correspondence dinner. Yep. Mm. And that same night was the night he was killed Osama bin Laden while he was roasting Trump. I was like, how cold can you be? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and he got Nobel Peace. He's trying to beat Obama because just to thumb his nose up at him. He is just that childish and immature. He is an extremely immature person.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Not
the plaques that he put up in the White House didn't tell you that,
right? Exactly. You know, and this whole thing that he's trying to do with taking like the black monuments out of museums and the slavery exhibits out of museums. It's like, okay, bro. Like the writing's on the wall here. I mean, he's not. At this time, people can't really complain who voted for him because he told you what he was going to do.
True.
He didn't lie about that. I mean, about that part with the whole thing with the what you call those, the illegals. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he told y'all what he was going to do. I mean, so and this whole thing with Israel, he said on the campaign trail, we got to take care of our friends in Israel. We got to do that. And me, I'm like, why? Okay, they spy on us. They actively spy on us all the time. Yeah. When we catch the Chinese, and we catch them all the time, I personally hear about 4 to 5 of them a week per week. I personally,
big on the news at least 4 or 5 times a year. The big ones on the news of a Chinese national still in right.
And I think it's me personally. I get phone calls. I'm on the phone with people 4 or 5 times a week, and I'm hearing about us catching Chinese nationals spying. You know what I'm saying? Now, me, not even in the military anymore, if I'm hearing about it, like, think about how many more is out there doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Israel, so the Chinese get caught, they get arrested, and God knows what happens to them. Okay? Israelis get caught, they get sent back home sometimes. Other times, they just get a talking to. Hey, don't do that no more. Okay, no problem. And they go home. Literally, like here, where they live here, they just send them home. They release them. They don't do anything to Israeli spies when they catch them. We do catch them, but they don't do anything to them. You know what I'm saying? So
I wonder why.
It's yeah. I don't know what Israel has on Trump. What he's been, what he's doing, and what's in the Epstein files on him. I don't know what's in there, but whatever it is, holy shit.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about honestly, I think
I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna finish this block, and then let's talk
Yeah,
about.
and please don't put Mike Huckabee back on here no more, man.
No.
Okay.
But guys,
Hey.
U.S. embassies, the consulates, other facilities are being relentlessly attacked all over the region as we speak. We've already gone over the Strait of Hormuz. It's been severely restricted. And just recently, Trump announced that the U.S. Navy is willing to escort tankers through the strait while attacks on both sides continue. So look for, like we talked about, look for the price of oil and gas to further increase here at home.
Yes,
The longer
increase.
the conflict goes on abroad. Also, look for the oncoming refugee crisis that will once again primarily affect European countries, despite having very little to do with the current conflict taking place. But more importantly, and most unfortunate of all, guys, look for the bloodshed to continue. And this can't be stated enough. Every life lost in this conflict is unnecessary. I'm gonna go open it up to you guys. What are your thoughts overall? What we've been talking about, man?
Just real quick, man. We got a lot of vets. We got a lot of vets on the panel, man. And I've been thinking about this a lot. I wish we would change the laws to where if the politicians decide to go to war, they hand it off to the military, and the politicians can't do anything, can't say anything. It's sick them. And the military goes, does what the military does, and then comes back and it's over. They remove the politician influence because what's going on right now is completely useless. I mean, it never happened, but I mean,
I know
that's the thing that frustrates. Yeah, it frustrates me the most because we have so many people out here. Like I talk about this, I'm like, this is unnecessary. We shouldn't be doing this. Not one American life is worth whatever's going on in Iran. And I understand, ladies, I understand the atrocities that happen to women over there. But ladies, y'all not even talking about what happened to the little boys in that region of the world. I don't think women realize what they do to little boys over there in that region.
They don't know.
You know, it's like,
so
my thing is, I get it. It's terrible. But if the Iranians wanted a new government, they would get a new government. They did it already. They know how to do it. And I just keep telling people, and they get, you know, I see the stupid people in the chats or whatever. I'm like, bro, y'all think I'm anti-war? If we're going to go, we should go and win. And the only way to win this thing is you got to take the country. And we're not about to do that. We can't do it with the Kurds. It's not enough Kurdish boots to put on the ground to take that country. You can't do it with the Israelis. So, I mean, that's what frustrates me the most.
Yeah. But I want to be clear here for everybody in the panel. This specific war, I am absolutely anti-war. I am 100% against this. This shit needed to end yesterday. For God's sake, it needs to end tomorrow. We are supposed to be supposedly the most powerful country in the world. We tell Israel what to do with our taxpayer money, not the other way around. That's my stance.
Well, my stance is this: I'm not anti-war at all.
Yeah, me neither.
It has to be for the right reasons, though. This is not one of them. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm against this. This is ridiculous. There's no point. We have no supporting Ukraine. I'm sorry, Ukrainian people, but that's not my problem. I'm not a Republican at all. But I am America first. This is my home. This is where I live. As fucked up as it may be or may not be in some people's eyes, it's still my home. It's the same thing like, you know, you got a little brother or sister. You'll join them all day long, hurt the feelings, make them cry, all that, but let somebody else do it. An outsider. You know what I'm saying? No, that's that ass, right? So, I'm America first. If it benefits America, okay. But you can't, you have to be more strategic. So, like, if we take out, say, Jordan, right? Like, we took out Saddam Hussein, look at what happened to the Middle East. And the Middle East, America's never going to let the Middle East be at peace. Because as long as the Middle East is in turmoil and in chaos, the United States and the United Kingdom are going to come up there and scoop up all the resources. It has to make it's too rich. The same thing with Africa. It's too rich. You have to keep it unstable. You cannot let it stabilize if you want to stay on top. Because here's why they killed Gaddafi. Because I was thinking about Gaddafi had the same idea I had a while ago when I was in the army. And I was like, you know what? If 3 of these countries, just 3 of them came together and made one country, made their own currency, and weighed the value of their currency against their natural resources, the American dollar is overnight. And it can't catch up to that. So Gaddafi comes up with this same idea. and he had to go.
Yep.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
America knows these things already. They had these conversations 10 years ago, 15 years ago. They know that these things could happen within these countries. That's why they go over talking.
That's why they keep them
They tell
unstable, right?
they tell everybody a different story, and the whole time they're not even trying to get the resources. I remember going to the Gulf War real quick, and the king offered every soldier an extra $1,000, and Bush said no. We went over and took all our technology.
They took that money.
He turned it
we
down.
got that medal. We get
Well,
that.
he turned down the money for
Kuwaiti
us.
medal.
I'm
that money.
I'm 1990. I don't know when y'all joined. I joined in 1990, a couple months before the Gulf War. When I found that out, I was boots on the ground in Saudi Arabia, running along that Persian Gulf Strip that y'all just showed. I was doing PT on that mode. And I used to go to breakfast with a lot of generals. And they used to talk about a lot of things. We sit next to each other. And my first sergeant was real open about things that were going on. And he used to come back from those meetings, and it just changed my whole life. But what I'm trying to say is that part of the world is always, again, it's always going to be in play how America moves. It's always going to be in play. There's things that we need. And America's going to go to each side whenever they believe that it's fitting for them, and give them the message. So,
but the thing is,
like respect,
almost. But this
the repeated cycles that we repeated cycles that we get ourselves into in this country. I'm tired of. Well, this is how it's going to be. This is the way. No, it doesn't have to be that way.
Well,
it's always going to be that way.
But real quick, when
a lot of people say, "Well, we've been knowing these. We've had all this information for years." Well, then why do we keep voting for the motherfuckers who want to get us into it?
Because you don't have
matter who you vote for, Democrats and Republicans.
Like use some critical thinking.
It doesn't matter who you vote for, bro. They both owned by the same 1%. Democrats and Republicans sent it to the same sandbox. And here's the thing, Coach Ferg. Coach Ferg. Hold on. Just real quick. Coach Ferg. Bush kept that money. All we got was that Kuwaiti medal with a little bit of gold in it. I hope you still got yours. I still got mine. Bush kept that money.
Yeah, and the soldier, and the soldier never saw a dime of it. And to what you were saying, DL. Hold on, one quick second.
I'm sorry, but respectfully, this panel on this show, we will not be doing "this is how it always been" in both sides, because at the beginning of this show, I specifically told y'all this problem was solved by Obama in 2015. The Iranian nuclear deal, with multiple countries signed off on that, including China, including Russia. The only country that did not sign off on that deal, Israel. So I'm tired of this. Both sides are to blame. No, one side fixed this problem. The other side in 2018 put us back into the problem. Stop making excuses.
The variable that you're missing out on this is Tarus, is something I said. It's something I said earlier. Okay, it depends on the administration. Okay, you have a president in there now who's trying to upstage Obama, who did in fact fix this problem. You are correct, and I agree. But he's mad he ain't getting Nobel Peace Prize, but Obama did. He was mad that Obama was president and he wasn't. The whole thing. Okay. Now, to what DL was saying, DL, the reason why they don't do it like that is because, think about it. We had Delta Force had Afghanistan won in 2 weeks. No bullshit, no lie. That is not an exaggeration at all. 2 weeks, Delta Force had Afghanistan done and in the books. There was no need for Rangers, no need for Marines, and everyone else is kind of, especially the SEALs, they're pretty worthless. But the Navy, you guys are pretty worthless, Tommy. But Delta Force had it won, okay? In 2 weeks, they had Osama bin Laden. That ass was done. But if you do it that way, if you let the Army and the military, including the Navy, do their jobs, okay, then the blank check never gets cut. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. I know I'm talking trash, but if you cut the reins off and you got a maritime problem, you set the Navy out there, it's done in a couple of hours.
Yep. That's facts.
It's gonna, like, seriously, and like, if I'm being honest about it, the Navy, come on, you're not messing with our Navy. You're not touching it. Nowhere near it. You're laughable. Okay? But that blank check never gets cut. Halliburton and KBR, they don't get their infinite contracts. You know what I'm saying? War is a business. And as long as it remains a business, and it will remain a business, you know, you're not going to have people to get there and get it done. It's just too much money in it. And Tarus, I get what you're saying, man, but you're dealing with a guy who really does have no business being president.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He said a bunch of stuff that I agreed with,
and that's
but
what pissed me off, Mandrell.
But that's the thing. Like even me, I agree with some of the stuff he said on the campaign trail. But did I have confidence that he was going to get any of it done? Not really.
The only one.
Not really. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, Mandrell. This doesn't apply to you. But am I the only one who doesn't take somebody who was found liable for sexual assault at his word? Am I the only one who doesn't take the guy who was best friends with Epstein at his word?
No.
I mean, for God's sakes, you guys talking about you believe Trump. Epstein was arrested and died in 2019 when Trump was president.
This is America.
Why would you do that, Beyond? FBI, handpicked. CIA, handpicked. DOJ, handpicked. He had the Epstein files a whole year and a half before he had to get out. And by the way, he didn't get out peacefully. Remember January 6th, guys?
Mm-hmm.
He lied about that shit too. But let me guess. Hey, man, the election could have been fraud.
It wasn't.
It could have
Nah.
been.
It wasn't.
Mandrell, we got to release the Kraken. That's what conservatives said.
But he's not the Kraken.
But Mandrell, that's the point. Why are we believing known liars? Why do I got grown ass men believing a dude who covers up sexual assault of minors by pedophiles?
But Tarus, they're all
Tarus.
They're all liars, bro. They're all liars, man.
No, stop.
Every last one of them.
You're not going to pull the all liars because Biden was not held liable for sexual assault. Obama wasn't held liable for sexual assault. Kamala Harris wasn't held liable for sexual assault. And all of y'all in the YouTube universe miss me with Bill Clinton because I was 5 years old when he became president.
Oh, I can talk to you about that. I can talk to you about that.
Everybody in my generation, none of my leaders were found liable for
I was in high school when Clinton came into office.
Right, listen, I love Bill Clinton.
I was 5 years old, bro. I don't know nothing about Clinton.
I can tell you about it. I can tell you about it.
I don't like that shit.
Here's the thing. I actually did security for the Clintons, right? I actually met them and like got to know them and everything, the whole nine. First of all, they're two completely different people. Hillary and Bill. Two completely different people. That is obviously a fake marriage. Always has been. Bill Clinton is super fucking cool. You talk about a president you can have a beer with. Yes, that is him. I didn't understand the whole thing. People said he was all charismatic, stuff like that before.
You have more than a beer, homie.
He really does. Look. Exactly. He lied. Now, he was a liar. He lied when he said he puffed but didn't inhale. He still smokes weed, okay? The thing is, look, and he's a total pussy hound. Total pussy hound. Seriously, like he is. Like, so the whole Monica Lewinsky thing, after I met them, I was like, oh, I'm not surprised. But at the same time, with Hillary, it's like, yo, y'all clearly can't sleep in the same bed. Clearly, clearly you don't. You know what I'm saying? But they did that whole thing of the Monica Lewinsky thing. That was a step to try to get Clinton impeached and out of office because they disagreed with some of the things he was doing. You know what I mean? But where they wrapped him up and had him by the balls at is when they had nothing on him and he pushed his agenda anyway and it was time to sign. They said, okay, listen, there's some things you got to give us, like this crime bill and all that nonsense, because that's when prisons actually became a business. Prison became a business like after that. And that's why to this day, Bill Clinton is the only person who had anything to do with it, who has the dignity to apologize for it and admit that it was wrong. And he said if he could go back and undo it, he wouldn't do it if he can go back and do it again.
Because I remember that. I remember that.
Right, yesterday. Right, but they did that to try to get him out of there. You know what I'm saying? That's what and it wasn't with an underage person like Trump and everybody else.
But
you remember in 2004 when Howard Dean got kicked out the DNC primary for his little yell on stage?
For the squeal? Yeah, for the squeal.
I wish we could go back to those.
I think it was something like that.
I remember that. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hold up. But the thing about Clinton also, they tried to get him on was Whitewater, and I remember they were like looking for anything to go after him. They were thinking, "Oh, the Clintons profited off it." No, it was just a bad real estate deal. Like the Republicans pushed that situation so bad. Vince Foster took his own life because that's how much it bothered him. It bothered Vince Foster so much, and they got on him so bad, he took his own life. And the thing was, people forget what happened in 94 was the midterms, the contract with America that Newt Gingrich pushed and everything else. That's how he got the gavel to become the Speaker of the House. That's how the GOP regained control of the House for the first time in over a generation. They were looking for any reason to get rid of Clinton because he was approachable. He was charismatic. He was not afraid to say, okay, I messed up, but so on and so forth. But they were looking for any reason.
And the thing is,
Anton, they got rid of his vice president, and look at the shit show ever since.
But here's the thing with that. Now, Al Gore, here's the problem with Al Gore. Al Gore took the money. This is something I know from firsthand information. Okay, Al Gore took the money. It's as simple as that. He won that election. Tommy, you old enough to remember that. Al Gore won that election. Coach Ferg, DLC, all of us up here. We're old enough to remember that. Al Gore won that election clean and clear. But he took the money. He took
get
the
them
money.
Hagen Chads out the way. Couldn't get them Hagen Chads out the way.
And so, Tarus, it's as messed up it is. Here's how politics work. Like, say someone approaches you to run for office. Again, first-hand information.
No, I know.
Tarus, you are a veteran, right?
I know how that works.
Veteran, you're a veteran, right?
Yes.
Okay, now what other state? Look, you want to run for politics? I can get you in there, man. We can fund your campaign the whole nine. Now, here's the thing: you can run. Here's the thing, Tarus. You can run for governor. Here's the thing: you can run for. Here's what got me when it really punched me in the face. It's like you can run for governor as a Republican or the Senate as a Democrat. I'm like, in my mind, I was like, the fuck? I don't really have a choice. Well, he's telling me I can either run for governor. Listen to that. You can either run for governor as a Republican or then the Senate as a Democrat.
Hey, look, all I want out of politics, man.
You hear what I'm saying? Do you
hold on. I just want my portfolio. I want my portfolio to perform as nicely as McConnell's or Pelosi's. That's all I want. Just let me go ahead.
See
you know what I'm saying? Invest my $1,000, turn it into $8.5 million.
There it is.
Get you some penny stock.
People take the money. That's what does it. That's what does it.
Fine,
that's
then,
what
bro,
does. People take the money.
But the people there's millions upon millions of voters who do not get that offer, and thus do not have to look at it from that perspective.
The real thing, the real tough part also
to the average American was. You saw Trump try to escalate war with Iran in 2018 when he pulled us out of the Iranian nuclear deal.
Which was dumb.
You saw that this man is trying to been escalating tensions in the Middle East since his first term. And yet, if you decided to take him at his word when he said no new wars, the dummy is you.
That's true. Because I agree with you.
That's all well and good, and I agree with you, bro.
I gotta say this. If you're a Christian, if you call yourself a Christian, a conservative Christian, in your secular government is using biblical texts, citing biblical doctrine to start an unprovoked war in the Middle East, take your ass back to the recruiting office, because I'm not sending my secular children. Send your good Christian children to go die for your Lord and Savior like the Bible commands. You see, you guys keep telling me, oh, well, this is how politics works. This is how politics works. Well, I'm telling you how it works from us in the ground when we either signing up for the military or trying to avoid that. Because guess what, Mandrell? The average American does not get offered whether we get to run as a senator or governor.
True.
Okay, you know what the average American got to deal with? The fact that gas is about to go up $1 for another stupid ass war in the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that 6 soldiers are coming back in boxes that didn't have to.
See, I agree with you. I agree with all that, Tarus. I agree with every word you're saying. I do, because
me too.
I agree with every word he's saying.
You heard what I said in the beginning.
Right now, I'm pressed. I'm pressed because we keep repeating the same damn mistakes. Guys, let's just say half the money, if you can imagine the trillions of dollars we spent in the Middle East. Let's just say half of that was actually spent here in America. What would our country look like?
A whole lot better.
Tron.
Hey, the soybean farmers that have health care.
It'll look like Tron.
Yeah.
All the seats with the lights and shit, like in the future.
Yep.
Beautiful, man.
Here's the thing. Tarus.
Lynn lives, man.
They got universal health care. The country that's telling us what to do, they got free college. The country that's telling us what to do, they ain't got potholes in their highways. The country that's telling us what to do, they got upgraded infrastructure. Do you guys not see what the problem is? Is that our country, our people is used as nothing more than cattle. Our GDP, what we generate, is being used to defend Israel at the detriment to our country.
But Tarus, whose fault is that? Tarus, that's the fault of the American people. That's the fault of the American people. If you want to turn this thing around, I'm just saying you're preaching to the choir. If you want to turn this, if you want to turn this thing around, right? You got to take all the political money, all that dirty money out of politics. It's clean money now, right? Citizens United got to go, and you need term limits. If you want to turn it around, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do.
You know what, DF? Let's look for Newt Gingrich's office. Let's look for his old desk that he was using while he was in Congress and see if he still has that referendum in there. Because if I remember, he was trying to pass a referendum to put term limits in for those who were members of Congress.
Yeah.
But decided to put that in the drawer once the GOP regained control of the House and he got the gavel.
By the way, guys, I don't know if y'all just saw about an hour or two ago, war resolution to limit the powers of Trump and Iran failed in the Senate.
Even if it passed, it wouldn't matter. You think? I mean, Trump doesn't listen to the Supreme Court. You think he's going to listen to the Congress? Come on, bro.
He's only going to use the 2 words that he loves to use: like executive order.
I mean, like this is the problem. Oh, this is the problem. We keep going. Well, Trump don't fucking care. Well, then make him care. And then if you can't make him care, you're telling me we need to burn this motherfucker to the ground. Because clearly, we all agree up here, laws are only as good as you're willing to enforce them, correct? Well, if we're not willing to enforce the law, then what's the point?
You have anarchy.
Hey, listen here. Hey, judge. Hey, hold on, real quick, because some of us got to go before the judge soon. Hey, y'all, that's him saying that. I'm not violent at all, Your Honor. So when I get in there, prosecution, I was just on the panel. All right, I'm a veteran. Y'all need. I'm just on the panel.
What was not Billy, huh, DL?
And the thing is, the Trump DOJ is a joke. You talk about back and forth. They're just as wishy-washy on the fence and back and forth as Trump is. Pam Bundy and Kash Patel, why they haven't been fired? I can't wrap my head around it.
We already know why.
I can't wrap my head around why they have not been fired. Like, you're pissing on people and telling them it's rain. Like, and I think that's what's upsetting people the most. I think people expect politicians to lie to them to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think they expect them to be like, hey, listen, remember that thing I said I was going to do? Yeah, fuck you. People don't expect you to do that. Just flat out, you know what I'm saying? Just flat out in your face.
Remember,
I thought you was going to do this.
Well, remember, Mandrell, Trump, and y'all know I don't like this guy. But in Trump's first term, he ain't tolerate that bullshit, did he? Yo,
it was the people around him, though, bro.
Exactly. He had people guiding him. He had people advising him.
He had real people around him.
Or that dude. I'm sorry, Scaramucci. Yeah. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Dio.
but he had people around him to push back. He don't have anybody to push it back now. But Tarus, what's going to happen in November? The American people, before America burns it all down, I think they're going to come vote first. I mean, if they can vote, that's another thing. That's another thing. Will there be some sort of martial law? Something, you know what I mean? Will
suspend habeas corpus, invoke martial law?
Because he's trying to push that agenda to make it where you have to have like some kind of federal ID or something like that, like an
15
official
forms
identification.
of ID.
Yeah, an official form of ID to vote this time around, or whatever the case may be. He's trying to pull nonsense to rig elections in his favor, and it's just it's the in your face stuff. It's like, dude, you're not even trying. Like, that's my thing with me. I'm like, you're not even trying. All politicians are liars because they have to be. That's the nature of the job. You're gonna promise people something. You're gonna overpromise. You're going to do that because you're gonna have things your way to prevent you from doing everything that you want to do. Okay, so you're gonna overpromise. Okay, some politicians just flat out lie, and people expect that. But for you to just give the middle finger to all of your constituents, there's no border wall. Okay, prices of everything are going up instead of going down, especially groceries. Okay, I mean, like,
but to
okay, hold on. I know. Hold on. DL does a lot of content on the housing market and a bubble and all this stuff, but there's that same bubble in the car industry, automobiles. And it's bigger. It's automobiles. It's like, okay, and then 60,000 jobs. Really, nationwide? That's putting a dent in it. Like, he's clearly fudging these numbers with the jobs reports. Those are clearly lies.
I mean,
clearly,
buy now, pay later. Tarus, what are your thoughts on buy now, pay later?
He's reporting.
Because the last time, if I remember, the person that was supposed to put out that job report, he fired him because he didn't like what he put out, and he was telling the truth.
Yeah, he's trying to get rid of Jay Powell, right? And because he wants Jay Powell to lower interest rates, and Jay Powell keeps telling him, listen, I can't do that right now. The jobs report, there are not enough jobs out there for that. We need to go through a little bit more pain because you got us into this because of COVID. And people like to forget that Donald Trump was in office when that shutdown happened. Okay. Yes. Okay. So it's like, okay, yeah, inflation is a bitch, dude. You can't lower interest rates right now. You got to get the job numbers up. But he's listening to corporations. And corporations want to continue to export jobs. Yeah, and you know what I'm saying, as opposed to bringing them here so people can actually work. What they could do is bring the munitions industry back here. Because let's be honest, if we got into a conventional war, we're not prepared for that, with a near peer adversary. But the argument can be made that we don't have any near peer adversaries because we're more powerful than the next 17 most powerful countries in the world. We're still more powerful than that.
Mandro.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Mandro. Trump told his supporters last year, if you still care about the Epstein files, you're stupid. And he doesn't need your support. His words.
Mm-hmm.
And they still support him after all that nonsense.
I don't understand it. I don't understand.
This is the lack of critical thinking that I'm talking about. And we got to talk to some people in circular logic. For example, BM, can you please bring this chat up from the MD20? Because it comes off in good faith, but good God, this is critical thinking that I'm talking about in comprehension. Y'all think this is about Citizens United and term limits is the answer? It's bigger than government. Follow the money. If y'all can't disrupt the flow, y'all just talking. Bigger than government. Follow the money. What was Citizens United MD20 fucking money? That is us following the money. Jesus Christ.
That's cutting off the flow.
You're telling me we need to burn this motherfucker to the ground. like God
boy,
damn.
Check your blood pressure, man. Check your blood pressure, bro.
You don't get heart attacks. He gives them. You know that.
following the money. Citizens United, that is part of it. MD20, there is never one thing that will solve the problem. There has been multiple reasons that get us into a problem, and it's going to take multiple solutions to get us out. So one of the things is to follow the money. That includes Citizens United. Another thing we can do is term limits. You see how that stacks up together? Like, oh.
But you know, that's real
You're
talk.
telling me
that
we need to burn this motherfucker to the ground.
That's real talk, though. Hey, that's serious. America can't think beyond the one trick, the one fix. That's how most Americans think. Like, bro, we didn't get here overnight. You ain't gonna get out of this overnight.
Exactly.
But here's the thing: what you said about the MAGA people, they did that Epstein thing, man. That did draw a line in the sand. They started to lose support there. I mean, you heard what Marjorie Taylor Greene was saying about Trump. Like you heard her go off on that guy, man. They're coming away. I think Trump is gonna get down to the SS hardcore MAGA, and that's all he's gonna have. It's gonna be like what, maybe 20% or less. That's all he's gonna have, and he knows that's not enough to win the election.
He's gonna have those oath keepers, those Proud Boys, and everything else.
Oh, go ahead, Anton, and then I'll go.
He's gonna have the support of those oath keepers and those Proud Boys, and he don't care. The fact of the matter is, he's the type of person that likes to control the narrative, and he likes to spin it to make him look like he's the son of God, like he's the best thing since sliced bread. And also, if you think about it, look at the majority of his supporters. Colonizers. Male colonizers. And I remember saying this on a panel before. It's gotten to a point where we may have to hit the reset button. But those colonizers don't want the that reset button hit because they know if you start all over again, they have to start all over again. They've had this 400-year head start, and they're holding on to their privileges like a wino clutching his last bottle of whiskey.
Anton, I agree with you, but unfortunately,
They get too much money, brother.
The power play, they know we're too passive. We're too docile as a.
Well, it's not even that.
Like, no. It is that because guess what? We got a guy actively covering up the sex trafficking. Pam Bondi literally played in our face and lied under oath. You see anybody storming the Capitol, DL? But they'll storm.
Here's my thing with the reset. I agree. I agree with the reset is coming and all that, but I mean, look at someone like Elon Musk, bro. Where'd that guy come from? He ain't
South
homegrown.
Africa.
He came over here. Exactly. He came over here. Look at all that money he had. And here's the deal. If you take away 75%, if you take away 75% of Elon Musk's net worth right now, how much money do you think he'd be worth?
It's irrelevant because that's how all their net worth is calculated.
$200 billion. You take away 75% of his net worth today, he's still, but that's my point to the reset. You can't reset. They still gonna have all the bread. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's all I'm saying.
So yes, there's going to be wealthy people that stay wealthy. DL, if that's your point, I agree with that. The problem is they can be wealthy without Citizens United being a thing. They can be wealthy.
I'm with you on that.
No, but I'm saying though, but you guys keep going, well, the wealthy's always going to be wealthy, like we can't do shit about shit. And it's like, well, damn, if we can't do anything, we can't do anything about the wealthy, yet they can get Citizens United passed, but somehow we can't get that repealed. Right? It's like,
but we got to start in the streets.
But we as a collective keep falling for that. DL, and that was going back to my original point. You keep saying, well, his poll numbers started slipping with the Epstein, and then it went right back up.
No, but then he had a break with his own people. Like I said, you got Republicans. You got the Republicans who they're against that. Marjorie Taylor Greene and they're pushing back. I mean,
the same Republican Congress that is the most unproductive Congress in U.S. history. That Republican Party.
Here's the thing. DL is right because there's one thing that no matter that everyday common people can agree on, no matter what side of the aisle you sit on, most people can agree that you don't fuck with kids. Like most people, that's where they draw the line on all the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Even weirdo states like California, you know, and the fucko you got, what's his name? Tommy.
Gavin Newsom.
No, yeah, Newsom, yeah. Dude, Tommy hates that dude, by the way.
Man,
I don't blame him either. I ain't even from there, and I hate that dude. I can't stand Newsom.
Is that really true, Mandro?
What?
Because I got Megyn Kelly talking about, well, 15 is not really a child.
That's just.
I got states right now trying to lower the legal age of consent.
She's just saying that bullshit for TV.
Right? Well, I got states trying to lower the legal age of consent down to 14.
Let me guess. They're red states, correct?
But they're states, right, Anton?
Yeah, that's the sad part.
This is why I gotta constantly push back, because Mandro, I constantly push back on narratives all the time. Talk like guys talking about, man, if this guy ends up back in the street's gonna take care of him. We got so many scumbags, sexual offenders walking the streets freely. Ain't nobody taking care of them. We got a whole bunch of people, Mandrell, who knew Trump was best friends with Epstein. Mandrell, how many people voted for him in 2024?
A lot. But
knowing. So again, clearly, a lot of the things we say or we like to think isn't really applicable anymore. Like Mandrell, like right now, this is the real definition, not this. Respectfully to the manosphere, this is the OG definition of being red pill, is being awake, being aware to what the society, your reality is and isn't. And it sucks, Mandrell, because for the last year and some change, I have got to watch my fellow Americans who, Mandrell, I told my wife coming from Germany, hey, yo, our people are cool. Yo, we're going to get our shit together. Like everybody in America ain't that violent. Man, Mandrell, I put my wife second day in Oklahoma. Pop, 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 gunshots.
What are you doing in
First time she ever
Oklahoma?
heard gunshots in Germany, by the way, at least in her little area where she lived.
Yeah, but what are you doing in Oklahoma?
Right. I was stationed there, Fort Sill.
Fort Sill?
Yeah. Sure.
I was about to say,
but yeah,
that's why you so wound up, boy. It's Fort Sill.
Country isn't it? Isn't
storm chases and everything?
All the
artillery and shit.
The wealthiest country in the world, but in 2026 today, the top 10% covers 50% of our consumer spending, guys.
Yep.
Do y'all not understand that? And it's getting worse.
And they're slowing
down.
Our infrastructure is crumbling. I know y'all seen the bridges and some of the buildings that have been collapsed in the last couple of years. I know for a fact, just like you guys, we've had to dodge some potholes on our federal highway. On a freaking highway. We ain't got money for none of that shit, but we got money for another war in the Middle East.
Yeah, we got money.
It's bad
for
when the alligators down here in Florida, man. No, we don't have money, Mandrell. We don't have money. Don't even go there, Mandrell. We don't have money.
What you said about the alligators, DL?
Well, down here, the alligators.
It's just a matter of where we want to spend it. It's a matter of willpower and motivation.
We got monopoly money, Mandrell. Come on, we ain't got no real money. The dollar has no real value. But down here in Florida, you know it's bad when the alligators come out your swimming pool talking about you need to fix them walls on your swimming pool. Alligators won't even swim in it. Like, man, your wall's too messed up. You need to fix that. We about to go back to the swamp.
Hey, Tommy, that's a real thing down there in Florida, man. Alligators do come out of people's swimming pools and stuff.
Oh, you in your swimming pool?
I think we're all muted.
Yeah, we all. There we go.
Yeah,
they be wearing white beaters and everything.
Man. Right, the alligators do just walking people's yards. It's a trip.
I was hot. Hey guys, thanks for coming up, man. Hey Tommy, what you got for us? Your final thoughts, man.
What I was going to say too is even speaking about the part of what we didn't talk about is even speaking about like the American dollar and the value dropping. You know, part of what Iran and Venezuela got together is they don't trade their oil in American dollars, and that was another angle of us going at both of those countries too. Is Trump is trying his best to try to hide the fact that the dollar is sinking and sinking fast.
Yep.
But that's it. I'm in school, but yeah, it's good to see y'all fellas.
Hey, good to see you
Yeah,
too,
Tommy.
Tommy.
Always a pleasure to see you, Tommy.
So why, Tommy? Why you at work and online?
I'm in school, fool.
You ain't go. Yeah, Tommy. Don't bullshit me, man. You don't go to school.
I'm at school, fool. I'm in HVAC school. I graduated in May.
It is.
Okay, you say so.
Anton, what you got for us?
Listen, I like chopping up on panels with veterans and everything because we see things in a way most people don't see things, and if they don't get it, that's okay. But I feel like in a way we see things to where it just gets to a point that people got to wake up. People are too concerned about their small pocket, people that look like them and everything else, and they're not focusing on the whole entire picture. They're too much focused on this one little niche, and they're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that one little niche is theirs, and everyone else, whatever. That's the problem. And I remember people were busting on Obama when he first got elected. What does he know about running a country? He's only a community organizer. You're right. And all he did was take this country and turn it into one big community. And that's been the problem for so long. We've taken something so big, and instead of trying to make it small and simple, we're making it bigger and bigger and bigger, and bigger doesn't always mean better. And people need to understand, we always say it's the small things. Maybe we start making things a lot smaller. It's a lot easier to see what's going on. Because now you can look at it from every angle in your hand and you know where to find the solutions. It's not that fucking hard. But when you have a demographic that's so used to making things more complicated, all they're going to do is those who have no idea how things work, it's easy to keep them under control. Plain and simple. So the best thing I tell people, stop looking at it as one big problem. Let's start looking at things as a shitload of small problems. That's all I got to say. And those are some words we're thinking about.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Anton. Thanks for coming up, man. DL Saint, my guy. What do you got for us?
What's happening? So, we're at the end of the road, guys. America is at the end of the road. Now it's time to shit or get off the pot, metaphorically speaking. And politically, Tarus, I agree with you. I agree with you, man. We're like 95% there. Like, we're there politically. You really want to make a change. I think the window of opportunity is hit here. Like, we know what's going to happen in 2026. I'm going on the premise that we're going to be voting. Like, so 2026 and 2028, we know what's going to happen, right? The big pendulum is coming. And whenever I get to the point where I'm ready to give up on our political system, stuff like New York happens, right? You look at Mamdani. I am not a democratic socialist. I want to throw that out there. But if the democratic socialists could get me free healthcare and free childcare, then okay, where do I sign up? And that's where most Americans are. The money that Mandrell 100% right about, we always come up with money for something, but I mean, where is our national debt right now, man? It's somewhere between 38 trillion and 40 trillion, right? It's got to be close to 40 trillion with what we're doing in the Middle East right now. It's got to be going up, right? So
go up to 41.
That's monopoly money. That money is not getting paid back. That's monopoly money. This is why the rest of the world is not investing in the American Ponzi scheme anymore. What are all the central banks doing around the globe right now? They're buying gold. Who's buying the most gold? The United States of America. Even the central planners, the 1% understands the dollar is done. It's just a matter of time. So what we have to do, I believe, is start in the trenches, start in the streets. We're going to have to do something about Citizens United. We're going to have to do something about term limits. And right now, when you can see someone like Mamdani could get picked up, a guy who's barely polling 1%, turns around and becomes the mayor of the most liberal city on the planet. If that can happen in New York, you see what just happened in Texas last night. They had over, I think, doing a primary. This is the most people they ever had come out for primary votes. Like 2 million people plus came out in Texas last night. You got people in deep red states having a hard time holding on to their seats. Here's a window of opportunity right now to trust in the system, to trust in what the founding fathers foresaw way back when. We had one person, we got one guy who came in and he's basically doing a challenge to checks and balances. And it's time for legislative and it's time for judicial to push back. And judicial has already done their part. They pushed back a little bit. They showed it. They're not a rubber stamp, right? They shut down Trump's tariffs, right? They showed that. The American people are waking up. It's what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. Americans don't care about what's going on overseas. Americans don't care about who's using what bathroom except for black men. Sorry, black man. I know you care about that. But the average American right now is trying to figure out how they're going to pay their rent, how they're going to pay their mortgage, how they're going to keep their house. Right? They're trying to figure out why did I sign up for that Klarna? Why am I making payments on my groceries, 4 installments on my groceries? They realize that the American dream has been stolen from them, stolen by the top, 10, 15% of earners. And the only thing keeping us afloat is AI, right? And the belief in the AI thing and the people at the very top. And what is AI doing? AI is taking away those last few remaining jobs. So America right now is forced to deal with it. They're trying to kick the can down the road. The can is bouncing off the wall, hitting them straight in their face. And I'm talking about the people. I'm talking about white folks. Black folks know how to deal with this, man. We all know how to make $1 out of 15 cents. We've been there, done that. But white folks are dealing with it now. So they are going to be really open to listening to taking the money out of politics. They're going to really want their neighbor Jim to go to D.C. so they can get these AI factories out of their town that's running up their electrical bills, right? They're really going to want to send Mary to D.C. so they can make sure FEMA has money because these storms are coming, right? So that's where we at right now, bro. And I'm down here in Florida. I'm here to tell you, man, take a look at what's going on down here in Florida, man. Drill will tell you, I've been calling this for as long as I've been living here. I'm like, bro, this is a real bubble. It's going to burst. And guess what? The market's turning right now. I think Florida is like, last time I checked, Florida was leading the country in foreclosures. Is your local news reporting that? Right? You look at what's going on with these corporations and all that outstanding debt that's out there right now. America and Charus, I got to get you on the platform, man, so we can talk about this. I can't wait for you to talk about these numbers, but I'm gonna leave it there. Let me land the plane right there. I think right now America's going to be faced with dealing with what they did with respect to voting for Trump. They're looking at this war. They're going to have to send their sons and daughters off to some faraway land for no real reason to put themselves in harm's way. That's going to happen, and I think they're finally going to snap and say no more. That's what I think is going to happen. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Absolutely, DL. Thanks for coming up, man. Mandrell, my guy, man. What's good? What you got for us?
Gotta be honest, I was hoping this wouldn't happen. You know, this whole thing with Israel and Iran. Turns out America's been footing the bill for everybody's conflict for a very long time. And that came out when that information was made obvious when we found out that they downgraded the military for the United Kingdom. They're now, the entire military is no longer considered a tier 1 military. They're barely tier 2. They just don't have the personnel. They don't have the funding. They don't have enough of anything. So that tells you that America's been footing the bill for everybody in their conflict. We've been in their conflicts doing favors for them and everyone else. And it's like that's how we stay afloat with war. You know, so we can't be surprised that the no more war president sends us to war. And my thing with Trump is everyone has to understand that you have to always take Trump seriously, but never at his word. Ever. You can never take him at his word, but always take him seriously, because he's going to do something, and to us it's going to be something stupid, but it's going to be something to benefit himself and his friends in the 1%. or someone else. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be someone with power and money and influence. But hopefully this ain't gonna come to our shores. No one's got the resources for that. So I don't think anyone needs to stock up on ammo for that. If we fall, it's gonna be a domestic issue. It's gonna be shit like this that kicks it off, but we're gonna tear ourselves apart. And we've been tearing ourselves apart for the longest. We're milking ourselves dry. The more money you take away from the middle class, the worse your economy gets, the worse your country gets. The stronger your middle class is, the stronger your country and economy gets. But you got everybody at the top who wants to make all the money. How can we get people to spend more money? We'll make a better product. No, we can't do that. That's going to cost. It's going to cost more money. Really, dude? Sorry, it's this one. I guess he wants to be on camera. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's cute. Boy or girl?
It's a boy. But yeah, that's what's going on. It really is all about money. Someone said follow the money. Yeah, but that's true. You follow the money. That's all this is about, ultimately. And them Epstein files. I don't care what nobody says. These Epstein files have a lot to do with this. He's trying to distract people from the Epstein files and do Israel a favor at the same time. That's what he's doing. He's helping himself. Like, how do you get indicted for like 96 crimes and you don't serve jail for none of them? No, they got you on like 50 of them at least, bro. 96 of them. You know, so as far as why people are still voting for him, most people are 1 in 4 people, by my own personal calculation, I say 1 in 4 people are doorknob stupid in America. I think so, at least. You know, so that's why you got people, and they treat politics like a football team. As long as their team does something good, they're gonna rock with them no matter what. You know, good or bad. You got people good or bad, they're still gonna rock with their team. You know, and you can't treat it like that at all.
No. You
know, it's not a game, it's not a sport. But they've turned politics into entertainment. That's why people have come to watch. You know, more people watching the debates than that. They want to be entertained. And then these debates aren't really debates. They're just screaming messages. It's like watching these panels on YouTube.
Yep.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yep. Well, I appreciate it, man, Joe. Thanks for jumping on, man. You know you're welcome anytime, man. It's good seeing you.
Good seeing you too, man. I see you around still.
Yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I did not see you on TikTok.
Man, real quick to the audience, man, I am a very, as y'all can see, very animated person. Guys like Mandrell, DL, Tommy, they know how I am, so they know how to deal with me. They know I'm crazy, but stick to the topic. I'm very passionate about what I talk about. And guys, straight up, man, I'm angry. I'm angry we got into another war. I'm angry that people are already dead. I'm angry that we got a lot of children dead in Iran right now. And so one of the things I want you guys to ask yourself is all of this worth it? Is all of this worth the decline of our American spirit? Is it better to spend trillions of dollars in the Middle East than it is to spend trillions of universal health care for our people? Is the neglect of our infrastructure the cost for Israel's territorial ambitions? More importantly, is it worth the lives that have been and will be lost in this conflict? For me, that's a very easy answer. No, it isn't worth it. That being said, we're at war. War is chaos, but we must do our best to understand the dynamics at play, recognize patterns, and better identify the bad actors banging on the drums of war, or we'll never actually get around to preventing war in the first place. Thanks for joining me, and make sure to like, share, subscribe. I'm Tyrus. I'll see you next week. Have a good night.